Hi everyone. I'm going to start a new series. I do work full-time and some of my videos can be 15-20 minutes long, and it takes a while to shoot and edit them and get them published. So I'm going to start a new series. I'm calling it Prepping Quick Tips under 5 minutes. So these are topics that deserve some coverage in my opinion, but don't warrant an entire video. This week we're going to cover short-term potable water storage. Now if you're in a situation where you have a storm coming, a hurricane, blizzard, or you expect maybe some flooding and that type of thing, I know a lot of people go out and they panic buy water. Well, sometimes if you're at work or something like that, it's happened to me in the past where I got to the store and the only ones left are those tore up looking 24 packs of bottled water with rips where somebody grabbed them, pulled them up too fast and it ripped, and they got bottles spilling out the sides and maybe some that are leaking and stuff. So there's other options available to you if you have a day or two to prepare. So if you're stuck in that scenario, you do have options, and if you plan correctly, you can have these items available to you to use under those circumstances. So what I'm talking about is food grade drink containers. My preference are 2-liter bottles, 2-liter soda bottles. And why do I prefer 2-liter water bottles? Because you can also do this. But you can use fruit juice bottles, Gatorade bottles, even if you're in a pinch, some hard milk jugs. So you have many options. So you want to plan ahead throughout the year. So whenever I have an empty bottle, I rip the wrapper off of it, and you need to wash it and dry it thoroughly. Okay, you don't want any residue in there, especially sugar or anything like that that can feed any microbes that might make it in there. Yeah, once you wash it and dry it thoroughly, I just put the cap on it and I store it, just like this, empty. So then if you know that a storm's coming or you're going to be in a situation that you can plan for, instead of rushing out and buying water, you can use your tap water while it's still running. And the reason you can do that is because it's chlorinated, right? So it's disinfected. Basically how it works is if you're close to a utility water plant, they push it out and they dose it with chlorine right there, amongst other things. They dose it with chlorine to keep it disinfected. Now the farther you are out away from that plant, the chlorination level is reduced, right? It fades. And that's what's known as the residual chlorine level. So that's why water may taste funny. If you go to somebody's house that's near the plant, it's going to have maybe a stronger chlorine taste or odor. And the farther away you get on the outskirts, if it's on that same piping run, then it's going to taste less chlorinated and smell less chlorinated. But they all have a little residual chlorine in them. So you fill them up to the top. And then a little trick that the manager of the local municipal water utilities lab, that's a mouthful right there. So what he told me is when they take samples, what they do is they fill it up all the way to the top till it crusts at the top, and you see a little crown on it, it's a little rounded at the top. They also take the cap, they fill that up, and then they slam it on there really quick. It takes some skill and you won't be able to keep all the air out, but the reasoning for that is to keep any pollutants floating around in the air out of it. It will give you a little longer shelf life. Once you fill them up, keep them in a cool, dark place because the sunlight does cause the chlorine to fade. Now, this, as I mentioned, is good for short-term water storage. I have no problem keeping these filled with chlorinated tap water for 2 to 3 weeks. No problem for me. Your comfort level may vary. And if you're a little hesitant, because it's been in there a couple weeks and you're not really sure, you can always disinfect with the appropriate amount of bleach or Aquatabs or anything along iodine, anything along those lines that you would normally disinfect your water with. So that's my prepping quick tip of the week. Like I said, I'm going to try to do these weekly, but I do have a full-time job, so I'm going to try to balance it to where I can get you 1 week or every 10 days at the latest. So hope you like this new series. If you do, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with anybody you think might have an interest. And also, if you wanted to buy me a coffee, please look for my Bitcoin wallet link below. Green tea, because I'm shooting this in the afternoon. Not coffee, but some green tea with a little bit of caffeine in it. So anyways, thanks everyone, and I will talk to you next time.